This video is a re-upload. I wanted to improve upon my original idea with some sharper editing and a new element to my videos. If you saw the original video, feel free to skip this upload, but it would be greatly appreciated if you stuck around. Welcome to the new works of fiction. As you can see, I have a camera now, but don't worry about the quality of the new videos. They'll still have the same editing style that I've been slowly working on for the past 2 years, and will only improve in quality. So let's talk about the Uncharted movie. Today, I'll be re-looking over the scene that I said was the best scene in the movie. Even though it's actually 2 scenes, they work well together and I think are worth a discussion. Once again, let's discuss Uncharted's great scene. Uncharted starts off with a pretty cliche setup, where we're thrown into a moment and are wondering the events that led up to it. The first thing we see is our hero Nathan Drake seemingly free-falling over the ocean. Then we see his foot is caught on a connected line of loose cargo dangling out of a plane. His foot comes loose and he begins barreling towards the water below. He catches himself on one of the boxes, gets into a scuffle with a goon, and miraculously makes it back on the plane. While Nate is celebrating his victory over gravity, a car starts to drive into him for seemingly no reason, and hits Nate back off the plane. The movie then does a pretty tricky thing by doing another cliche. While Nate is falling, there's a close-up of his hand, and a second hand grabs his hand, saving him from the fall. Except, that's not what happened, because that hand saving Nate was actually his brother's hand, pulling Nate up onto a balcony when they were kids. It's a great use of a match cut, and sufficiently tricks the audience. Once the movie properly starts from the beginning, it takes a while before we see how Nate ends up falling out of the plane. I actually forgot all about that opening scene, so when I started to see all the pieces falling into place, I got really excited. You see, so many stories that are structured in the same way as Uncharted are banking on the viewer's need to see how the story led the characters to that point. It's almost unimportant why the thing happened or how the thing will change the future of the characters. Most of the time, seeing the outcome right at the beginning isn't enough to keep people into watching the show or movie, or the book or comic they're reading. When you know how something ends, the journey isn't as meaningful. So if this is how I feel about stories structured like Uncharted, then why am I praising it in this video? Well, because Uncharted isn't structured this way. Let me explain. Uncharted may begin its movie with a flash forward scene, but unlike most of these types of stories, it doesn't show you how the story ends, just a point in the story to reel you in. The ending is left unknown, almost like a movie trailer, showing you part of an incredible action scene to get you excited to see more. By the time the opening scene is starting, and we see everything that leads up to the high-intensity fight that happens while dangling out of a plane, we don't get to see it. We see how Nate got on the plane, and why he's on the plane. We see the cargo fall out, and Nate's foot getting caught and being dragged out of the plane with the cargo. We expect to see that opening scene play out again, but it doesn't. Instead, our view stays on the plane, and we watch Braddock and Chloe fight. We already know everything that happens to Nate right now, so the movie takes advantage of that and keeps us on the plane. While there are a couple of cuts to Nate, they're kept pretty brief and only serve to remind us of what Nate is doing and not show us what Nate is doing. This similar thing can be achieved by simply cutting back and forth between 2 points of action, but this, in my opinion, is a really fun way to break the mold of both action scenes and the cliche of jumping ahead to begin a story. And to top it all off, the car that hit Nate was the crescendo to Chloe's battle with Braddock, reconnecting the pair's separate adventures and beginning the next challenge for both of them. Thank you everyone for watching my revised Uncharted video. I'm really happy with the changes that I made, and I hope you enjoyed them as well. I'm curious to know what you think of me being on camera for these videos. And as I always say, crap!